Welcome back to Making Sense Conversations, and I'm Waceke Nduati. So happy to be back on air. I know it's been a while, but that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you just need a space and a gap to just get some inspiration about the next season and what you want to talk about. And to kick us off, I just want to talk about, with so much information out there, sometimes you're like, what is going to be different about what I say? And as usual, like I've always said, I'm going to continue sharing things from my own journey. So today, as I was reflecting, what has been inspiring me the last couple of weeks, and I was sitting with some friends of mine, and we talked about that there are two forces that push people forward. A push and a pull. Now, push is circumstantial. It's things happen to you. Something happens in your job and you feel you're pushed in a certain direction, or you're pushed out, or you're pushed to go get another job. So it's something usually that we think is negative. There's a toxic relationship and you're pushed out. There's something that happens financially with your money, so you're pushed. You find yourself in debt, so finally you're pushed to get your money in order, or your retirement is staring at you in the face, so you're pushed to now start figuring out a retirement plan. So it's a push. It's there's a lot of fear around it, and it's necessary. We all in life are going to get pushed in some way or another. But there's another very important force that we must all have in our lives, and that's a pull. So a friend of mine was telling me how he used to be a sprinter. And the best times he did is when he was running with faster people. When he was running with slower people, or people can run as fast as him, his speed was not the same. And I found that analogy very powerful, because we've got to always work or be in the company of people who in some form or way are ahead of us. Maybe it's not their circumstances that are ahead of you, but the way they think is ahead of you. Something in their behavior is ahead of you. Something in the way they approach life is ahead of you. Yeah. And I think when we talk about mentors, we're looking for people who can actually provide the pull factor, because pushing will only get you so far. Once the tragedy is over, then you're comfortable again. So you need something that's providing something else that moves you forward. And I found myself in a group where, yes, I teach about money, but I realize I am pulling a lot of people, because I'm the one teaching about money. I'm the one talking to people about money. So I'm the one running the business that teaches people about money. So I'm the visionary of the business. I'm the founder of the business. So I've been the pull for a really long time. But now I'm finding and appreciating, and certain people have come over time and been a pull for me, but I need to be pulled. Even in my own financial life, I need to be pulled by those who see things differently and expose me to different areas. And we sometimes don't like to do that, because that's more uncomfortable. To me, I'm finding more comfortable than being pushed. You feel intimidated. You feel, what have I been doing all this time? And we are very scared of admitting that I'm not at my best, that I need to work more, that this is not good enough. I found myself having to admit, yes, I'm okay, but I got comfortable. I didn't want to really admit that actually I could go further, but it's going to require risk. It's going to require me to be uncomfortable, whether it's money, whether it's business. And worse still, sometimes, and in Centonomy, we like saying it this way. We always tell people, please get out of the poverty support group, the one that's helping you feel comfortable. So if things are bad, let's complain about the economy, let's complain about our job, let's complain about our business, let's complain about our salary. And it's so comfortable to be in a poverty support group. Then you're like, misery loves company. We are together. We are many. I'm not the only one. But that's not going to take you anywhere. So we all need pull in our lives. So how are you getting your pull? And I'm now committed to being a journey where I am getting the pull, because I can't continue pulling other people, the people I pull, unless I am getting the pull. So sitting with different people, exposing myself to different information, trying out new things, reading different things that I'd said I'm not going to read because they're boring or things like that. Yeah. that's how I'm going to get the pull. And I think you also get the pull when you start experiencing and witnessing yourself being pulled. So you start saying, oh, kumbe, there's actually a new side of me. I never saw this side of me. Then you start saying, okay, hang on, I can do it. I didn't see that side of me. And this is what happens when you start being pulled. You start seeing things differently. You start seeing relationships differently. Suddenly, what you thought aligned in your life no longer aligns the way you thought it aligns because you're being pulled. So there's so much noise and so many reasons to talk about what is not going right. But we'll only see that if we are in that poverty support group, in that mentality. Yes, I'm not saying there are no challenges, they are. But what have you decided? As long as you have breath, that means God still has a purpose for you here. That He still has a job for you to actually do. So what's pulling you in that direction? So please go and start identifying what's going to be the pull, or am I waiting for something tragic to always happen that pushes me into an event? So you don't have to wait to go for a course. You don't have to wait for something tragic to happen. Just do it. And you will start realizing you're also gaining your own momentum that's also moving you forward. So I hope as I restart this podcast, as I come back to air, this can be a pull, not just a push, but it can also be a pull, because so that we can all move together. So whether I'll be talking about business, whether I'll be talking about money, whether I'll be talking about life, let's pull together, because there's something we're all meant to do on this earth. And if I can help and be a catalyst for that, I would like to be that. And of course, sharing my own journey as well as I do this. So welcome back to the podcast and stay tuned for many more. Thank you.